Okay, as I mentioned earlier, working on this, the Mustangs ride notoriously high, the model kits. So you got to lower the suspension to get an appropriate looking stance. So I've been doing some research online, and there's a couple different ways to do it. One way is you can cut off a couple coils off the top of the spring here, and that would easily lower the back end of the car. But when you do the front end of the car and you lower it the same amount, the problem is you still have to hog out the inside of the fender well here in order to get the wheels to have clearance. I mean, they're low profile wheels, but from what everyone's saying is they still grind on the top. So and going back a step, neither way is better than the other. It's just I'm trying one way this car, and I have plenty of other Mustangs. I'll try it a different way the next time. Another way that I learned from a gentleman was that taking these discs, okay, this is the rear disc. If I take and I cut a notch out right where the black is, okay, what it'll do is when it's on, when you put the brake on, or the disc brake on, okay, like so, that track, that notch allows you to move this upwards. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by notching the back out over this black line here. So again, it'll allow this caliper to go up and down on the axle. And then in this area right here, I will drill another hole to match this one here. Put one right about there. I will take a piece of styrene rod, glue it in here. So now when I glue this on here, instead of the rod going through center, it'll be something like, it'll raise the wheel up, something like that. I mean, I'm being over dramatic here, but that's kind of the effect you get. So that's the way we're going on this first Mustang. So give me a couple minutes and we'll be right back. Okay, so see if you can see this here. I hogged out the disc and made the centerpiece oblong now. It goes through the disc. Okay, can you see that there? And then it's easier to see on this side. Here's your original hole in the center of the disc. I moved it a 16th center to center and then drilled the hole using my pin vise. And I was going through my evergreen stock, which I always tell everybody you should always have a stock of this stuff. Different shapes, sizes, circumferences, everything, because you never know when you can use it. And I guess I kind of been slack at that because I didn't have the right circumference, but I had these applicators here, pinpoint Q-tips, to try for different things, applying glue, painting, stuff like that. But I cut one in half because it turns out is just the right size for my discs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this styrene and I'm going to plug the hole in the center, and then I'm going to take another piece of the same stuff, glue it in here like so, and then apply the disc on the lower hole. Again, it raises the disc from here this way. That makes sense? From here up. So when the wheel goes on there, it should be raised about a 1/16 of an inch. I'll be right back. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take these wheels, we're going to remove them from the tree because there's other parts in here that we don't want to dechrome. Just going to snip these off. Alright, put that aside. So here are our Mustang wheels. Okay. So there they are. A little too chrome for me. So what we're going to do, Ziploc bag, we throw them inside. Next, easy off oven cleaner. Now my suggestion is always wear a mask when you're doing this because This stuff will take the air right out of your lungs, okay? You're not gonna be able to hear me, so I'm gonna just kind of go without, but you really should. Normally I'd also do this outside, but again, camera's here. So the bag, deep breath, spray. Now, close that sucker up. And that's it. What? Now we just let the oven cleaner do its thing. About 10 minutes from now, this will be nice and clean. So here we are, about 10 minutes later, and I didn't even scrub anything. All I did is I took them upstairs, washed them off with some water, and look how clean they are. The only piece of chrome left is down here in the hub. Otherwise, sparkly clean. So I'm going to take and clean these up and get them ready for paint. We'll be right back. Okay, so we dechromed the wheels in the last video. And then what I did is using this stuff right here. It's what I like to use. It's Duplicolor Chrome. Okay, get it at the auto shop. You know, any auto parts store that is. I forget what it was. I mean, it's under $7, I think, for this, which is probably, I paid less for this than I would for a can of Model Masters paint. But anyway, this stuff, when you spray it, in my humble opinion, gives a much more realistic chrome look, at least for the scale. So those are the wheels. Now, what I learned from one of my other videos, after you do this, is to seal it in, because working with your hands, you'll wipe this stuff off in no time whatsoever. So I'm going to use the pledge here. I'm going to do my thing, let it sit overnight, and then the wheel should be in good shape to be worked on. Okay? Be right back.